Hello my lovelies, today's video is going to be a really quick journal flip through of my completed junk journal. I say completed, it's about as full as I think I can make it. It's kind of wedging open, it doesn't shut very well anymore, so I feel like this was the first junk journal that I made for myself and I overpacked it. So I have learnt the hard way that I put way too many papers in here, and yeah, so there's quite a few blank pages that I could go back and journal on. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I decided it was time to make myself a new book. And I don't know whether to call this a junk journal or an altered book, because it is an altered book. I found this book at a market. It was kind of like a car boot sale type market, and it was about 25p. So I have made this into what will be my new journal, and I've tried to leave a lot more space for it to grow than I did with the other one. But I'm going to put this to one side for a minute. I'll show you that after, and I'm just going to do a really quick flip through of this one because lots of people have been asking me, what is a junk journal and what do you use it for? And honestly, I don't know whether I would class mine as a junk journal or a scrapbook, but it's a junk journal because I made it myself out of junk. This was some old packaging and then a photograph that I took on the top. I added book corners to try and make it look a little bit fancy. I bound it with some twine that I already had from gardening and crafting and things like that. And then the papers inside are a mixture of ones that have been bought and pages from old books, packaging, things like that. So I'm going to do a really quick flip through to show you the kinds of things that I put in my journals. So I've just got a little sticker here on the inside cover. There's a pocket here that has nothing in and a blank page. That's not a good start, is it? And then I've got a page that I journaled about my children. We had some butterflies, well, they were caterpillars and then they grew into butterflies. We released them in the garden. So I just made a little page about that, and then there's some journaling on the paper in here. I've planted loads of things this summer, so I just did a little list of all the things that I had planted. This paper here is actually from my teacher planner. It was a page that I didn't use, so I ripped it out and I used it for my journal. And then I just played with the twine and made a little flower pot thing. I don't know, I just needed to switch off and needed to make something. I've got a quote here that I really like, which is Dr. Zeus, unless, and then I've just written a little bit about gardening. And then I've stuck this in out of the newspaper because we watched the England match together versus Italy. What was it? I can't remember the match that it was, but anyway, it was like the final and England was in it, and we let the kids stay up late and it was really lovely. So I've journaled a bit about that and stuck the picture in. And then this was just a science experiment that we did over the summer, so I stuck the Skittles packet in. I literally stick junk in here, but that's the point, right? I did some sketching and some journaling. This page has nothing on it, but I really like the print. This is from a storybook that I had when I was a baby. And then again, a quote that I really liked, and I added this little paper bag for a flip out. Some pictures of my children, and then some journaling on the card in there. I've got another page that I made. This was when I first got my sewing machine, and I just journaled a little bit about starting out sewing because I'd never done it before. Well, not since high school, but you know. This was some Mindful Chef things that I got, and Megan did some writing. It was just a bit of a day dump. So this was some writing that my daughter wrote as well, and it was just a few memories from that day that I wanted to get down. I've got some gift tags from some presents from my children at the end of last school year, and there's a beautiful note as well that one of the parents wrote me, which I have popped in the envelope in there. A little gratitude log on the next page, and this was a journaling page that I did about how I love to cook with my children, and some memories of when I was a child as well. Pictures from my children, I love sticking those in my journals. There's one from Harry in the pocket as well. And then these are just some packaging bits from things that I've really liked using. So I've journaled a bit about that and stuck the tags in. There's a page about the guinea pigs and when we moved them to their new hutch outside because they were inside before that. And then here is just a journaling page about us going on holiday. We went to Wales and it was just so much fun to get away. I've got some washi tape swatch pages and some more blank pages. There's quite a few. There's another tag from something that I bought. There's quite a few, like I say, that haven't been written on, but that's okay. I've got a picture from my friend's wedding, which I've just stuck in with some flowers, like a flower sticker at the bottom, and a little bit of journaling, only a tiny bit. I never write too much because I'm not much of a writer, but you know, I get down what I can and what I need to. That's still empty. I feel like I should pop something in there because I love that paper bag. Random packaging. We went to Monkey Forest at the weekend. We ate cornettos and we saw the monkeys. So I've just got the receipt and some random bits from that. That was a bit of packaging from something that I bought. I can't remember what, but it's in there. I have nothing on. There's quite a few that have nothing on. This was a page that I did about my friend's hen do, and yeah, it's just got loads of photos, receipts, some of the quirky bits that we had during the day. I really like that spread. It makes me happy. There's actually a process video for that one if you want to see more. This was a sweet bag from my friend's wedding, and inside, I think, yeah, Alistair took like the least flattering photos of me ever. And I hated him for it, but I thought, do you know what, they're quite funny, so they can go in there. I'm sure I'll like to remember them one day. Megan had to go for a COVID test. This was actually yesterday, so I just stuck the random thing that the swab was in. It's clean, don't worry. And there's a little note tucked in the back there as well, a bit of journaling, how we did the test. I figured maybe in a few years I'd actually want to remember what it was like when we went through all this chaos. There's the barcode. Thankfully, the test was negative, so we're all good. More unused pages. Like I say, I overfilled this. More photos from my friend's wedding. But yeah, I overfilled this, and so I can't fit something on every page because it's just getting too bulky. But I have enjoyed using this journal. It was the first one I made, so it feels really special, and I'm glad that I've got it. And blank pages is fine. So this was another picture that one of my children did for me, and more wedding photos. Alistair went a little bit crazy with the camera at the wedding and took loads. Sorry, Charlotte, that's where all your film went. So I've just dotted these about throughout my book. More blank pages. Oh, it's terrible. It's such a waste, but you know, I could go back and journal on these. I've got a badge from Megan's 4th birthday and a temporary tattoo that we had as well at the party, and more photos tucked in there, more blank pages. Oh gosh, there really is quite a bit left. I might work in this book for a little bit longer, you know. Now I'm seeing quite how much is left. There's a random shopping list that I have popped in there, and oh, Harry had a bump at school and they get these red letters, so I put that in there too. There's a note from somebody who sent me something to feature on my Instagram, and it's just a little thank you note, and I thought that was lovely. I've got, what's this? Oh, this was my to-do list. It's stuck a little bit. My to-do list for Alistair for the wedding. More pictures, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, this was Harry's name on his bag. So I really like having people's handwriting in my journals. I just think it's a nice way to capture a little piece of them. And yeah, so I stuck Harry's, he had a little gift bag on his table at the wedding, so I just ripped off his name and stuck that in as well. Like I say, I probably should put more in it, but when it stands up, even if I try and squeeze it shut, it goes like this. So I think this was a good learning journal. I've learned a lot from using it and from making it, but I mean, I think that's done. What do you reckon? I probably should write more in it, but I'm just not a big writer. I prefer to use pictures and scrapbooking. So this was my old journal, and this is my new journal, which I haven't started yet. And you can see that this one is a little bit bigger. Like I say, I found this book at a market and I just really liked it. It just spoke to me. The spine was in really good condition, so I just thought, let's have a go at doing an altered book this time instead of using packaging. So this is going to be my new journal. Now, the book itself was the The Matter and Method of Modern Teaching. And I have no idea what this book's about. It's really, really old, but as a teacher, I just thought, yeah, that might be quite cool. So I've bound it with, I actually treated myself. So my last book, I bound with twine because it was something I had around the house. But this one, I actually bought some waxed thread just in the hope that it will last longer. It's a little bit thin, a little bit neater, and I thought it might help the book keep its shape better and not, you know, pop open like this as much. I threaded some buttons on the spine. These are just really old ones. I've had these for years and years and years. I used to make photo frame, picture frame crafts with cards and things, and I don't do that anymore, so I still have all these buttons, and I just thought they looked really lovely on the spine. And then on the front, I've decorated it with this little piece of fabric down the side. I really liked the floral print. I've got a little piece of like lace ribbon, a sticker, and then these are nothing to do with my school that I went to or schools that I've worked in, but this was inside the cover of this book, and instead of losing that little piece of history and that little piece of this book and where it came from, I decided to add it onto the cover. And then this one here was inside another book that I bought to use the pages of. And I don't know, I like having those little pieces of history on the cover, and just to remember where they came from and that they've now been given a new lease of life, and they're going to bring me joy in a different way to they brought joy to people in the past. That's a bit soppy, isn't it? But never mind. I've written a quote on the cover as well on my typewriter, and I just typed straight onto this floral print, and it says, "Moments come and go, but memories last forever." And I just thought that was quite nice for recording memories and for a book that was going to have memories inside it. I've also got this little library card that I bought off, I want to say I bought off eBay, and I just thought that was quite cute, so I added that as well. So that's the outside of the book, the spine, and on the back cover I just stuck a sticker. I thought it was pretty. I'm not sure how I feel about it now actually. What do you think? Anyway, it's not perfect. This one's for me, so yeah, please be kind. So when you open it up, as you can see, I feel like if I'd have been making this for someone else, I would have taken much more time and effort. So there is a little bit of a split between the backing on the spine and the front inside cover, but that's okay. I also think that my pages sit a little bit higher than I would have liked them to. So if you look, there's like a slightly bigger gap at the bottom than there is at the top. But I do think I'm kind of being a little bit overly fussy there. I mean, I don't think anyone would really notice that other than me. And it's me using this book anyway, so it doesn't matter. I decided to add these little fabric tabs just on the first page of each signature. I just thought they were quite a nice tactile little touch, and I really like the way that that turned out. My first page, I've just done some collaging on, and I've done a little window page with a pressed daisy in it. I did some of these in my friend's wedding guest book, and I just thought they looked really nice, so I thought I wanted some in my book as well. And there's 2 pages similar to this inside, so I'm really happy with that. This fabric here is actually some that my mum used to make curtains for my children's Wendy house, so that's really special. Again, it's using things that we had, things that are junk, and I really like that. I've got quite a few blank pages in this book because I do like a blank canvas to be able to work on. Apologies for the noise of the dogs and the postman, but there you go. So there's quite a lot of pages that I have coffee dyed and left so that I can decide what I want to do on them later. There's just a little floral sticker on here. And then this is one of the pages from this book. I wanted to keep them just as a little nod to the way the book used to be. So we've got that page, another floral sticker and coffee dyed paper. I scrunched this one just to add a bit of texture. And then I've got, this is a page from an Alice in Wonderland book, and it was the title page, and I just really liked the illustration, so I thought that could go in as well. There's the back of that page, so you've got the rabbit and the mouse, and then I've dotted some quotes from my typewriter throughout this book as well. So this is a quote from a Pink song, All I Know So Far, and I absolutely love that song. My daughter loves it too, and I just thought it's just something that makes me think and makes me happy, so that's why that's in there. More blank pages, the other side of that page from the book. And then I've just stuck this little, I don't even know what you'd call it. It was from a junk journal ephemera pack that I got off eBay and I really liked it, so I've put that in there. More blank pages, and then this has just got a little envelope flip out on it as well, so I can add some things in that I don't necessarily want to be outseen on the page. Another blank page, another quote. So this one says, life becomes more meaningful when you realise the simple fact that you'll never get the same moment twice. And I just thought, that's so true, isn't it? This is the start of the next signature, so it's got another tab. And I've just paper clipped this in because I wasn't sure I wanted to leave it here. But I wanted to kind of leave myself a bit of ephemera to use in here, just like I would if I was selling a journal. So I treated myself. I'm so sorry for the dogs. I don't know what's going on with them. They're the neighbours, they're not mine. I hope they're okay. So yeah, just another page from this book. This is from a gardening book that I picked up at a market. I think it was about 50p. And some pattern papers. This paper is from The Range. I absolutely love The Range. It's really affordable for things like that. And then I've sewn on this piece of ribbon. It's the same as on the front cover. And I just thought I could tuck things in there and pull them out. So there's just this bird postcard underneath that I could do some writing on if I want to. And then this page, I just sewed a little pocket. This was actually a rent, is it a rent book? A cash book? Something like that, from a shop down the road, and I think the whole book was about 50p, so we like a bargain. There's the back of that page, more of the gardening paper. I've just got a little folded and printed paper pocket in here. And this is the next signature, so another quote, and it says, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. That's a quote from a song that my friend had at her wedding, and it just makes me smile. I've never heard it before and I just love it. So again, little fabric tabs, and they just, I don't know why these make me so happy. More coffee dyed paper, more of the pages from the book, and another postcard in a pocket that I can use. And more Alice in Wonderland. I love Alice in Wonderland, it's such a beautiful story. And I really liked the Mad Hatter's tea party scene. I just think that sums up dinner time in our house. So that made me smile, that went in there. And another pocket with this waterfall postcard. I don't know if I'm going to write on that or take it out, but I've had it for a while and I never seem to be able to bring myself to use it, and I just thought I'm going to put it in. Whether I use it or not, it's going in. More stickers and coffee dyed paper, and then this page I just sewed around the edge and I stuck a little button on because I thought it was cute. Do you need another reason? There's a fabric tab on this one as well, and then a little luggage tag, and I printed on my typewriter onto this sunflower image, and I've just written, you are my sunshine. I love that song. I sang it to my children when I was pregnant, when they were babies, and it just makes me smile. So that's in there to use as well. Then I've got this page, I think this was from like a girls annual, like a vintage annual that I found. Again, this was at a market. It was either 50p or £1 for that book, and I really liked it. So some recipes on the back. I love to cook, so recipes are always nice to have in. And some more coffee dyed paper. I love the way this one turned out. More pages from the book. And oh, there's another pocket here with a little library card in there that I can write on. I'm not necessarily going to keep these in the same places, but they're there if I want to use them. And then the next signature, I just did this bit of sewing here. It's actually to attach something on the other side, but I thought it made quite a nice little title box for the page. And again, we've got the fabric tab on the bottom. I've got these bits of fabric sewn at the top, and this is from that girls annual. Again, I just really like the black and white. I thought that might make a really interesting page. I'm not sure how I'll use it yet, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? I've got another one of these window pages with the flowers, and I actually really like the way that looks over the top of the flower paper on the page before it. More flower pages from a book that I bought. Again, at market. I don't like to spend a lot of money on my ephemera, so I like to find things at markets, car boot sales, charity shops, and yeah, see what treasures I can find. It feels more special that way. More coffee dyed paper. This again is from That Girl's Annual with another tab on it, and this is my last signature. More coffee dyed papers. I love this print, it's so beautiful. I never want to work on top of it, but I just needed to have it in there because it's my last piece and I love it. And I think that is pretty much it. Oh, I sewed in some pages to come out the other way just to add a bit of something different, a bit of interest. I don't know. I just like playing around and seeing how things turn out. And I always like to thread my sewing machine with a different colour thread on the bottom to the top. So on this side you get the nice blue thread going along, and on this side it's white, and I don't know why, I just love that. And that's it. That is my book. I need to stick that down a little bit better. But do you know what? This is mine, so it doesn't really matter that it's not perfect. Like I say, I've left plenty of growing room in this book, so that's kind of the width of the spine, but that's where it's up to now. So I feel like there's plenty of room to add to this journal, and it just makes me really happy. So let me know what you think. I think it's like, it represents my journey in making journals. So this is very much what my style started off as, very kind of clean lines and simple, no sewing, all just kind of sticking and gluing. And then this is where I've ended up one journal later, and I can't wait to see what my style will be like after this one. I love the idea that one day I can have a bookcase full of these stood next to each other, and they'll be there for my children when they're older, maybe even when I'm gone. I know that's morbid, but I love the idea that they'll be able to look back and have these memories that I've put together. And yeah, it makes me happy, it keeps me calm. Having an hour of journaling time in the evenings does wonders for my mental health, so I highly recommend it. Give this video a like if you liked it, and please feel free to subscribe. I am sharing more and more journaling videos on here. Let me know if that's something that you enjoy seeing. I know a lot of you people come here for like meal plans and food bits, but this is just another part of me that makes me happy, and I want to share it because it might make you happy too. So have a lovely day whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for watching.